Thomas with Houston Paint Protection here, and today I'm going to be walking you guys through a paint protection film install on the hood of this 2024 Nissan Frontier Pro4X. We have already prepped the hood fully, which is the wash, the clay bar, all of the decontamination, just to make sure the paint is very clean. We've got our piece of film down that we cut and laid on here, and we're going to start by stretching the film to get it flat, and then we'll start working our way through the install. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is do what's called tacking our film down in the back. This is going to give us a point to stretch the film against. As you can see, the film is laid over the hood, and we have all of this excess film running along the perimeter of the hood. If we try and put it down as it is, we'll get a lot of distortion, work marks in the glue, and other unsightly errors. So what we need to do is stretch the film, get it nice and glassy across the hood, and then we'll start squeegeeing it down. So we're gonna spray our tack here in the corner, making sure that we don't allow it to touch the edges of the hood so it doesn't activate the adhesive there. One thing we want to make sure that we don't do is stretch too much in the horizontal direction. And the reason why is because we have these deep valleys in the hood and also in the back, and we're going to need excess material to fill those in. So we're going to keep it relatively relaxed side to side, and when we do our big stretch, it will be front to back. We have all of these excess material, fingers are what we call them, that are present here. We need to do a big stretch to get all of this film to lay down flat, and at that point we'll be ready to squeegee it down. Take a look at the fingers when I stretch. One thing we want to be mindful of is when we stretch the film, especially along the body lines and the edges, it's going to push all of our slip solution out and create dry areas. So we want to make sure that the film is still floating before we start messing around with it, so we don't end up with distortion along the perimeter of the panel when we move to squeegee it down. If you look across the hood, we've got excess material here, so when we fill in these valleys, it will pull that material in and then allow us to glass the rest of the hood. We'll get some slip on top of the film so our squeegees glide, and we're going to work our way down. Alright, so we're about to hit this other valley. Again, always making sure our film is floating and lubricated so we don't get any kind of work marks or distortion in the glue. With the tension that we created along this leading edge, it's actually going to seal the film off. So whenever we go to lay our valley down, we don't have anywhere for that water to go. So we need to make sure to break this loose so we can actually squeegee the film down and get all of that slip solution out of our way. We want to make sure we're squeegeeing this very intentionally so we get all of the bubbles and excess slip solution out of there. As you can see, we have a big bubble here. If it's not making contact, then it's getting dry as it sits in the air suspended above the hood. And when we go to squeegee it down, we'll get dry spots. So here we'll start working our way towards the front of the truck. Now, what we want to do is take care of this flat area, then the back corner where we have all of the excess material, and then we'll hit the valley and the edge. Slowly let it do its job, just like that. Now, we have a deep valley here with a big bubble, and this portion of the film is under a lot of tension. So whenever we push this out, we need to make sure that we have an escape route for all of that excess fluid. So we'll come under here. We don't want to completely release our tack point, but we do need to get it floating a little bit. We'll swipe this down like this. repeat the exact same thing on this side. We have only the rear of the hood remaining. We have this deep valley in the back of the hood. And as I mentioned before, you can see there's a lot of excess material here that would normally not go down if it was a flat piece. But because we have that curve, it's going to eat up all of that excess material and it should lay down nice and easy. So first thing I want to do is get my line right. Just get all the excess out to where it's just the body line that's left. I'm going to start from this corner and work my way inward. As you can see, that curvature just eats up the excess film. What we're going to do now is grab the knife, hand cut all of the edges, and get our excess film off, and then we'll flush everything out with our tack and start wrapping underneath the hood to finish it out.